So say you're a person that's normally in a breakout room and you have some lighting trees, how do you transition to this level to understanding Kelvin and understanding how everything has to work together?
It's, for the most part, it's an embarrassing transition. It is. For my entire career, I look for opportunities that are just at the fingertips of my ability. And then I put myself in those situations and I learn from that. And there are times where another seasoned video guy, because you're not here with another lighting guy, another seasoned video guy will almost school you and say, we got to work on this, and then I go learn. And then I educate myself on where it is. There's all kinds of courses and classes you can take, and you should. But until you're sitting behind this console and the executive producer walks up behind you and says, I need to see this right now, that's when you learn. That's when you stretch. And then when that ability becomes in your grasp, you find something else. You look at media servers, you look at new fixtures, you look at new consoles. You know, these are changing and updating all the time. Are you going to stretch yourself and put yourself behind a new desk that you don't know and don't understand? So that's always been tricky.
Now, with that being said, a new console, how many times have you worked on this? How often do you get a different console that you might not have as much experience on? And what do you do then when before that?
Where we are at this level doing Fortune 500 shows, it's tricky. There's two main desks. There's Hog and there's MA2 that are out there in our world. There's all kinds of others, and they're great consoles, but the two that I run into most. I spent my entire career on the Hog consoles, and then I worked my way up, and I started doing just a stage wash and some uplights on those Hog consoles. And then as the MA2 started to take over, I knew I had to learn that, and I had to get to a new platform. But here's the problem. I'm now doing arena shows on a console that I've never touched. And I went for training and I worked on some smaller shows, but it doesn't matter. So I had 20 years of experience on that other console and I had no programming anxiety. If I told you this console can't do that, you need to believe me, you can't do that. So about 2 years ago, I thought it's time, and I was late in doing it, it's time to learn this new platform. My first show on this new platform was a Katy Perry concert. Now, not that I ran it, but our show leading up to it was her rig, and I had to run that and then be able to hand the keys over to her LD when he rolled in, and I needed to know what looked like I knew what I was talking about. So in that situation, like you say, how do you get to that point? One of my strengths is knowing my weaknesses. I knew I wasn't there. I hired a close friend of mine to come in for the week, and the production company supported the decision, and he came in to help us. We actually did 3 Katy Perry shows over the span of 2.5 weeks, and he stayed through the first one just to make sure I was comfortable. And I've done that a couple times in my career where I've flown people in, and some of it on my dime, because it's my responsibility to make sure this is right. You're not paying me to learn on your show. So that's a tricky part.
So you went the extra mile to pay somebody else to come in and train you so that then you could go and prosper and feel confident in your abilities to do it.
Absolutely. It's not fair for me to put a production company in a situation where I can make a mistake. We've all been in situations where there's operator error, the CEO is on stage, and it's cost the production company the show. And they say, if that's what you guys do, we don't want to go back. And we're talking multi-million-dollar contracts here. So I don't expect to be cut slack and say, it's okay, it's his first show on this console. That's not right. So I'm fortunate enough to be able to take that and with the money I earn to be investing back in my own company. And you know, I'm the one that needs to stay at that level. And I heard a presenter talking the other day that his goal is to strive for excellence and never attain it. And I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, think of that. His goal in life was to strive for excellence and never attain it. And I thought, man, I can apply that to what I do. We can always get better. We can always stretch. We can always push.